Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show and another episode of The Final Word. And, of course, the last bastions of the FDL, the Farker Defence League, the Happy Clappers unite. Leeds United can still do this. Like seals we are, just still clinging on to a glimmer of hope because we are fans of the football club. We want to hope and believe that Leeds United still can do this. There's people out there, part of the PDL, as Callum says, the Parade Defence League. They're about. But we're here to hopefully give you a shed of positivity and let you know that it ain't all that bad. It ain't all that bad. I think I saw a comment straight out of the gate from my good friend Gabba. He said, good point away from home, makes my blood boil. Well, in actual fact, it was a good point away from home. The real issue was the Swansea result. That was the real issue. The point away at Luton, a team that haven't lost in 6, a team that have only conceded 1 goal at home in each game since October was the last time they conceded more than once, and that was against Sunderland, where they got beat 2-1. But yeah, so for me, it wasn't a bad result. And if you remember, Jack, when we did our predictions, I said that this would happen. I always felt Luton would be spooky for us. I did feel that Luton would be spooky for us, and it proved to be the case. But we'll get into the particulars of the games. Let's just get the lads' synopsises first of all. Luke's poorly, and Andrea's watching basketball because he's had enough of football. So that's where they're at. But Jack, I'm going to come to you. Talk to me, brother. How was the game? How are you feeling? And Leeds are fucking going up, surely.
I was frustrated by the game. I think two things can be true at once, can't they? Because I think what's happening, Joe, is you're saying that it's a good point, and everybody's going into like meltdown about what you mean by that. It can be a good point, and you obviously wanted us to win. I'm aware that the 23rd in the league, ultimately I wanted us to go to Luton and get 3 points. I wanted 6 points out of the last 2, as you always do anyway, but that's what I thought we needed to some extent. I just think, and I get pellets for this all the time, but the parameters change every game, don't they? So you have to just reassess where you're at again, don't you? And you go, okay, Sheffield United slipped up. We're 1 point off them. We're 2 points off Burnley. I can't see Burnley going unbeaten until end of season. You just rejig. It's not like I'm not lying to myself. I wanted 6 points so that we were top of the league. We've not achieved 6 points. We're 3rd in the league, 2 off top. And then you go, right, where are we at now? Sheffield United have slipped up. I think they'll slip up again. Be interesting to see that the pressure's sort of on them now. So Burnley are actually are Burnley the best team in the league now then? So do we have to go, where do they go from here? The game frustrated me. It was always going to be sticky. Like you say, Luton are still on the day a decent side. I think we should be beating 23rd in the league, truth be told. But, away from home, like you say, it's the Swansea result that's really the problem, I think, in most people's mind. That's why I wanted it reversed, because most people would have taken 4 points out of the 2 games. So if we'd have beaten Luton, obviously you still get your 4 points, so you carry on as normal. It were a bitty game, scrappy. Didn't Farker do what everybody wanted him to do? Made the substitutions, dropped Meslier, Silent S, brought Nonto into 10, what everybody wanted, other than obviously now Ramazan is the guy that obviously everybody were begging to go in, even though it would really, majority of people just wanted Nonto in there. He did what we wanted. So I don't really know. I mean, I must say, obviously, going into Middlesbrough, it's borderline make or break. We need to go and get 3 points there now, which I know you're pretty hopeful we will, Joe. So, and I'm backing that. I don't see why we can't go there and get a victory. The thing is, it's up to us. One thing I just want to say, Joe, if I may, for some reason, everybody else is allowed to flip their form. So I have to weigh like Coventry have turned the form and they're in great form. Middlesbrough have flipped the form. Sheffield United flipped the form. Burnley, they flipped the form. For some reason, they're allowed to do it. But Leeds United, we're not allowed to come out of this patch. We're done now. We can't flip our form, and they can't go back to how they have been. They can't go back to being what Middlesbrough were and being what Coventry were. Do you know what I mean? They're on the ascendancy, and they're just going to ascend forever now. They're never coming back down. Do you know
Coventry were beating us in playoffs. Now they're not even in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. People go through little patches, don't they? And we are currently having the patch. Now we have to get out of it. One thing I would say about Luton, me and we've all been saying it, but I do think we matched them for large portions of the game in terms of physicality. They were pumping ball in the box. We were winning headers. We didn't look shaky. Ball were flying in front throws and stuff. We were winning headers. Everybody looked strong. Everybody looked up for it. Ampadu were flying into tackles. He looked bang at it. He looked back to fitness, to be fair to him. Struett were flying into tackles. Obviously, potentially got him injured, but we seemed about it. They weren't physically stronger than us. It was just
Jack, I think that's the most impressed I've been with us from a physical aspect, because if you look at QPR for 45 minutes, we got bullied. If you look against Portsmouth, we got bullied for 90 and we lose the game. So Farke spoke in his presser about us being, we have to match them. But so it's clearly something they worked on. And on Saturday, we did. We could have easily got bullied. Easily. Morris, etc. But we stood up to it. I agree with you there, mate. For sure.
Yeah.
There were about a 10-minute period where I think it was Ampadu. He made about 3 unbelievable tackles. And I was a bit down at that point, but when I saw that, it got me going. I felt it a little bit. You know what I mean? I felt it. He's getting it. He knows what this needs now. And I think Firpo did one as well, didn't they? There were a few in there, proper big challenges. When they won us the ball and we got forward with it. Well, we didn't do it with it because that was the problem. But I saw a little bit there and I went, they have got it. It's right there. Why do they not show it? And I think maybe that little period, Ampadu doing right. Yeah, we can do this. We can hit them big. Because with Luton, when we did it, they didn't know what to do. We'd smash it and we run forward with it, and then suddenly they're going, they're physical now. This is what's frustrating about it all. It's finding that. So for me, that little bit was just a little positive that I liked.
Agreed. I do believe that fight was there, and obviously on Tuesday it's going to provide us with a different test. That's the championship for you. It's going to be a different test on Tuesday night. I think it's a test that Rysel says, Joe, most important question, are you jealous of Lockie's locks? No, mate, I don't mind the balding, to be honest, mate. It's a good look. It works for me. I look better bald than I do with hair, genuinely.
Yeah, I'd be terrible bald, me. I've got a little head. It wouldn't work.
It is what it is. One positive as well, Lockie, the keeper, Darlow. Levi says at least we had a good keeper. I thought Darlow did really well. He made a key save, and he didn't drop anything, and that was the most important thing. And I don't know if maybe subconsciously, folks, that the defence also were aware of it not being Meslier. Does that make sense, Lockie, as well? Yeah.
It was weird because I was kind of watching it going, I kind of want him to have a few saves to make, just so in my mind I can watch it and go, he's actually all right. Do you know what I mean? I wanted him to do a bit. It was weird because you don't want teams to shoot against you, but I kind of did just to see if he's got a little bit. And he made an excellent save. Yeah. Look, he's a good goalkeeper. Clearly, he's decent. He played in the Championship and the Premier League. He's a decent goalkeeper. Should have been made probably after the whole game. But he's in now, and he needs to be the best version of himself for these last 6 games for me. And he was good. I think it was sensible one. He didn't make any rash decisions. He didn't come out for it. He didn't. He was quite sensible and safe. He made the saves he needed to. There's one thing though that is a bit. His kicks were taking a little too long. His kicks sometimes, and they were getting a little bit too close to my liking. That were making me a little bit nervous. And he's not as good with his feet as Mez. Rodon was a lot closer to him than he usually is with Mez. So that's that, which can be an issue because when we're being pressed, you need your goalkeeper to be an option. But it is what it is. This is a situation we're in. I'd sacrifice that for someone that's going to make some solid saves and not drop things. So he looked confident, and that's what we needed. So yeah, I was happy with Darlow. He looked like a competent goalkeeper. Who'd have thought?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think Darlow's because I felt he held on to the ball a little bit too long a couple of times. Do you think that's actually I'm totally confident here, do not worry about me, and it's sort of like can't help but be like.
Did you not see that one where they released it quick though in the first half to the left-hand side, and we almost created an attack out of it? I think he threw it to Solomon, perhaps. But his kicking's not his strong point. We know that. He's not good with
how long he was holding it. Come on, lad.
He can pull out a 3-yard pass the road onto his right, but that's about it. And
that's
fine.
Bro, there was one where it came across and he had to move it onto his right boot, and I was like, it's Carlton Morris was
his
coming
legs were
down
very
on him.
stiff, weren't they, when he had ball?
Yeah, very.
A bit. But look,
it'll be like me
trying
to move the ball from my left to the right in the content creator goal.
Yeah. Just a little thing on that as well with the defenders. And they weren't perfect in the game, but Adebayo and Morris are two massive. They were decent in Prem, them two last year, you know.
Yeah, no.
And I thought they battled well with them. I thought they did well. I was really worried. It's 2 up against them. It's usually 1 up there in it. They had 2 against them this week. Big physical guys. I thought obviously they won a few things. That's going to happen. But I actually thought they were pretty good in that sense. I thought they battled well. And like you said earlier, it's about that battle. So yeah, it's a little one.
It was good. I tell you what, as well, that Asgard really impressed me for Luton. Oh, it was very good.
Yeah, someone wanted him in January, Joe. But yeah.
Was he on the list?
Yeah.
Was he?
I did a video on him. Some other people, I won't say who in this space, said he weren't good enough. But I thought it was very. I thought
people calling manager racist, probably. Sorry.
He's a big physical profile, and you could tell he was good with his feet. He's powerful. He got forward well. He's a good player. He's going to go far. He is. Yeah. He's still. I think he's 22, 23. So he's still quite young.
Yeah. Jamie, no one's happy. This is not 3 happy guys that with balls do up.
Can I just say, Joe, Jamie, speak to my dad. If you think I was happy yesterday, he was scared of the things that were coming out of my mouth. And that's my dad. He was looking at me like, you all right? I was angry, mate.
What for me, and I get it, because when I go, I mean, Jack knows Sean, me and him would have like debate arguments in the car because I am very positive. I am the fan that, you know, this is when we were 13th every season, by the way, and I'd be going, yeah, but Sean, if they lose, and we win that one and that, we might get into 6. You know what I mean? And be going, Joe, shut up, man. You know, but that's me. So unhappy. Look, it's a point, okay? But what can I do now? I can sit in that shit, or I can go, right, okay, where we at now, right? You know what? Them two have to play each other. And then Sheffield United got beat. So I'm like, well, actually, we've gained a point on Sheffield United, and we're only 2 points off top. 2 points off top. Now, I get where we were. We were 7 points. But guess what? It's happened. I can't change it. Nor can you. So just forget about it for now, because they're not going to sack him. So nothing's going to change in that respect. We have got 6 games now, 6 games to get up. And it's still within our hands. It is still within our hands because they have to play each other. They have to play each other. And guess what? They're going to drop points. And, you know, everyone were telling me, oh, Oxford, they got beat by Oxford. I think I listened to the second tier. It's the first time Sheffield United haven't scored in a game for months as well. For months. Why is that? It's nerves. It's pressure. Sheffield United were top. They'd seen Leeds United draw. You know what? We can build a healthy gap here. Guess what they do? They crumble. Because that's what happens. So yeah, it's tough, right? Let's see what Burnley do. Go to relegation threat in Derby, who've only lost once in 6 games, at their place. Let's see what happens if they go 1-0 down. The worst thing is as well, boys, I don't know, did you see Burnley's second goal? Did you see it?
I've not seen it.
Oh my God. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. Liam Kitchen, the keeper, they put into each other, and Anthony's got an open net to put it into. So really, but that's if, buts, and maybes. It is what it is. But yeah, that's why not happy with what's happened. And if I'm honest, and I think Michael on the square ball got it bang on. When February come and people were saying to me, Farker's not the right manager in the Prem, etc., I was like, shut up. He deserves an opportunity. Now, if they reviewed it at the end of the season, if we get up through the skin of our teeth, totally fine with it. Because in 2 seasons now, and he's had the similar sort of problems, he's had the similar sort of crumble, if you like, manages to get us over the line. But yeah, let's review it. Like, this isn't just, oh, Farker's amazing. It's just about getting Leeds, you know, promoted. And hopefully we still have it within us to do it. You know, hopefully we still have us in it to do it. Go on. Sorry, mate.
In the same way, based on his record, that's how you hire most people based on the CV, the record, what they've done. Like, that's how it works. Based on that, he is probably one of the best people to get a team out of this league because of his record. Now, by the same record, you could argue in the Premier League, he's not the man. There's context to both of them, obviously. The good squad he had in the Championship and the poor squad he had in the Premier League. But of course, I agree, and I'm 100% up for this conversation at the end of the season. If we're in the Premier League, I think it is serious. There's a lot of good managers out there who are proven at a high level who would want a Premier League move.
Yeah.
You know, there is. Like, what I'm saying is, when we go up, we're a big team.
We're an attractive prospect.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're looking for. We're attractive. Still, we'll have ambition. The owners will have ambition. We'll spend money. So whatever they think and the decision making and the process they make has got to be the right one. Because it's so seen this year. The gap between bottom 3 and 70, it's mental. You can't, if you get the manager wrong or recruitment wrong, that could be it. Even if you change halfway through the season, that could already be. You know what I mean? It's
at the end of the day, Aston Villa were able to bring in Unai Emery when Gerrard was taking them to relegation. They're now in what? They're in the Champions League. They're still in the FA Cup, on the FA Cup semi-final, and they're on for Champions League again. So,
even Nuno, Joe,
you can do that, right? Yeah, Nuno.
It's Nottingham Forest. You know what I mean?
I remember getting cooked for wanting him, by the way, when we sacked Gracia, but hey ho, it is what it is.
It's about finding a person and a manager who really, it's the right club for him. I think that's really important. You know, like Nuno when he went to Spurs, weren't the right club for him, didn't work. You know, at Wolves ended, you know, he's found the right formula there. The players look like his players, they're playing for him. And this is a conversation, I guess. And I think it is important, the connection between the manager and the fans. I do think that matters.
Yeah.
And that's my worry. I don't feel like, I think we've had this discussion before, I don't feel like there's ever going to be a really strong bond between the Leeds fans and the manager. I think that's fine for where we're at now. But would you guys agree in the Premier League, when it's really difficult for the fans, when we're probably not going to win most weeks, do you think we need that connection with the manager, that real belief in him?
Listen, I think in the Premier League, the manager's on a hiding to nothing, man. He's on a hiding to nothing, Daniel Farker. I swear to God.
Point, yeah.
He as soon as we lose a game, Lockie, it'll be get him out. Honestly, it'll be like get him out, and it's like, so it might be good for the fan base, but it's not about. Listen, it's not about what. It is about what we want, but it's about what the powers that be want. You know what I mean? Let's be honest, the fans are the last things taken into consideration. So if they think it's a good financial decision to sack the manager because there's another option out there who has a better chance of keeping us up, they'll do it. They'll do it because they're good businessmen. 49ers are good.
All I would say on that is that I do think there's an element where they hold in a little bit. I'm so into that, Joe. You know, they'll do whatever they want. But in terms of like halfway through the season, I know we got rid of Bielsa. I don't want to talk about Bielsa, but I do think there was the majority of the fan base didn't want that gone. And I think my point is, does he go earlier if everybody hates him already for some unknown reason? There'd be a few of us that would kick off if Farker got sacked today, wouldn't there? And the majority of people online would be like, I think they do look at the consensus and think, well, we can get away with it now and there's no repercussion. Do you know what I mean? I don't think they care what the fans think, full stop. But I do think there's an element where it's like...
It's easier to make the decision, isn't it?
Easier, yeah.
I just think what Jamie said there, I think he's right. He said, he changed it at the end of the season, but there's no guarantees it'd work. Now, this is it. You could get recruitment almost perfect. You could get this manager who's managing the Champions League, right? That people are saying we could get in the Championship, which we can't. But if we're in the Premier League, you could get him and you can still go down. This is how hard it's going to be. I know we've had discussion before, Jack. Like, we can still do it. I'm not saying we can't. Of course we can. But everything's almost got to be perfect. You've got to have some luck go your way as well, and you've got to hope there's a few poorer teams in the Prem. Because you could do everything right and still not be enough. That's how ruthless it could be. So it's a decision for the end of the season, knowing it, I guess.
And just quickly, and everybody's saying that Farker won't work in the Prem, for instance, because that's what goes around just because of his time at Norwich. Fine, whatever. If you don't think Farker work at Prem, but there's no reason why that'd be. I don't know. There's like what Lockie's just said. There's an idea that you get somebody new in, and then it's just like this is what Farker cannot do it in the Prem, and it's just not. That's not based on anything. There's no reason why we can't finish 15th with Farker as manager, is there? If we
No.
I don't get he's not just a championship he doesn't get you out the Championship every time. Well, if he actually doesn't now, to be fair, well, majority of the time.
Till Leeds became a thing.
Yeah. But if he gets us out of there, I don't really think it does matter how you get it. It has no reflection on. I made a joke the other day, right? If Burnley win the league and we come second, we will do better than Burnley next year,
100%.
regardless.
That's not a joke.
Yeah. So I know, but it seems people won't have it. So I said it because I said basically, what Leeds United get you in the Premier League is anything better than Burnley. We will be better than Burnley.
Same as Sheffield United as well, bro. Genuinely.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
the three that go up, we do the best. Genuinely, I believe that.
This
is
a frustration in it, I think, as well, because I think it feels like we are a Premier League team, not in like the arrogant way, in like the structure of the club. It's gotten bigger, that the stadium stuff, everything. We know we've got rich owners. We know owners that have had success in, another sport. It feels like these owners are kind of better for the Premier League as opposed to the Championship. And that's the frustration, because we really want it. We really want to see what that could look like. We're looking at Forest, we're looking at Villa and going, that could be us, because there's no reason it can't be. They were where we were, literally. Villa were, Forest were. And now look at them. There's no reason with a few right decisions and ambition that you can't. This is why I know that the whole top six argument, and maybe that'll change next year when they all spend billions, but I'm looking at the top 10 in the Premier League and I'm going, right now in this period of time, I feel like it's a bit disjointed with the top six. There's a few in there that you wouldn't think are now getting Europe, So you've got to be ambitious. And and again, that's on the owners too. Is that with the manager? Is that with this certain player? These are the decisions they have to make. I'm glad I don't, because there's a lot in these next few years. It could be a big few years for the club, genuinely. If we don't go up, next year, imagine that, as opposed to the year in the Premier League. If you had a good year in the Premier League, then you're setting yourself in the Premier League. You could be laughing in 4 or 5 years if you have good strategy.
Go on, like Jack.
If we don't, just a quick one. If we don't go up, if we go up and sack Farker, there's something doesn't sit right to me with that though. I don't understand it. I honestly don't.
Yeah.
And it's not. I'm not being nice to Farker. I couldn't care less. But I just think, like, what's the club doing then? I just don't. Who comes in? Who really goes, all right, yeah, now that you're in the Prem, we've got this top manager. I don't know.
To be honest, look, I get the conversation. I still believe he should be given an opportunity. I get the conversation now. But also, can anyone tell me, folks, in the chat, I don't know if you lads know, I don't remember a team ever doing it. Now, of course, Scott Parker didn't get long because he just complained about not spending enough money, and then Gary O'Neill came in and kept him up, and it was like, Parker, you look stupid. But has anyone ever done that in the Premier League, where they've come up and then sacked someone before they've even had a chance to play? I don't think so. I don't think so.
The O'Neill one, that weren't promotion, was it? He kept him up and then they got rid of him for Areola. That was that one, wasn't it?
But that's not like getting him out of the Champo, though. I don't think it's been done. And then what kind of message?
I guess Enzo went higher, though, didn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, he went to Chelsea, didn't he? But what kind of message does that also send to other managers as well? Like, fucking hell, you aren't even. To be honest, I don't know what will happen, but we need to get there first, I guess.
Sorry, go on.
I'll just say, I get it. I still, though, if there's manager, it's like, say, look, there is a manager that wants a Premier League opportunity and he's mint. I think there has got to be a consideration there. I know that's horrible, and that is probably against what I do. I don't like that. But I'm not saying any old name here, some hips. I'm saying like I don't know who name it is. I ain't got one right on the spot. I could probably find a few, but I feel like, you know what I mean? If there's like an Emery, for example, he came in and Villa went, yeah, we'd have him. Because they knew, regardless, Emery's keeping you up, guaranteed he's going to do good things with you. I don't know. It's a fine line for me. It is a tough one. It is a tough one because there could be you're in the Premier League, some genuinely good managers that are there. I don't know. It's a tough one for me.
It is, yeah. We'll have to wait and see.
You fight between what's morally right and opportunity going, but that's outstanding, man. Yeah, it's
but I think
Listen,
there's a
everyone's
difference.
saying Mourinho. I'd take Mourinho. Thomas Frank, you've got no chance. Tom,
You've got no chance with Mourinho.
if you genuinely believe we can get Diego Simeone from Atletico Madrid, like, what are we doing?
We've got no chance with Mourinho, though. We're not. You're not in the Premier League the first day of the season. You're just not. You've got more chance. I genuinely believe they'll inherit certain problems that they can see you've got while they've seen you in the Prem. But no real top manager is going to come from a Championship promoted side the first day of the season and go, I'll just inherit this side. I don't think that happens. I think they'll watch 15, 20 games and think, oh, they're really bad and I can sort this. But I think they're guessing. They don't know what they're walking into. They're walking into a Championship side. Even if you're getting battered, like when Emery came into Villa, at least he can look at a Premier League side at that point and go, I can sort this out, or I can't sort this out, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I just think when you're going up, you're inheriting and all sorts of. It's a total guess. So I just think
that's my problem with people saying they get rid of him now. You can't. A manager that's coming in doesn't know. You'd have to get a manager who's happy to be in the Championship and the Prem. Where what if you can go up? There's probably a higher level you probably could have got. In hindsight. So
and then he'd have to go.
Yeah, exactly. So it's why it's you can't do that for me. I mean, if for whatever reason, I don't know, but if say we did lose the next year and they get rid of Farke, honestly, you should have to have a caretaker like Gilavogi or something. Genuinely, you can't get that won't work. That'd be that one. You never know. It might be
play a manager, get himself in that 10 role.
Not playing, please. No, seen enough of that. Right, let's. We went off on a bit of a tangent there, but let's refocus and turn it back to the game. What did we make to Willy Gnonto in the 10? Now, just want to set my stall out. This isn't a case of saying, I think, because I've not been an advocate of seeing it as much as others. And he did struggle in that position, but a lot of that was due to the fact they played 5 at the back. It was the first time he was playing. He was away at Luton. All this context has to be applied to it. And he didn't have a great. Now, for me, I would hope that we still might see him at Middlesbrough. I didn't mind the midfield of Ampadu and Tanaka. I don't think Tanaka was amazing, but I don't mind that as a base with him in the 10. Jack, what were your thoughts on it? Do you think we'll see it on Tuesday, or will he revert back to type?
Well, I'm always keen to. I don't really like the idea of bringing someone in and then watching them for a bit, saying it's not really happened for you, and then you just maul them out. It just seems like it seems too knee jerk to me. I thought it would. To be honest, I think it highlighted one, what Aronson does do for us, and two, what he tries to do when the game's really difficult to do anything in. Because in truth, Gnonto just found himself having the same problems that Aronson's had for the past few games.
Yeah.
There's no space. You can't really turn on ball. I mean, Aronson is brilliant at, like Lockie says a lot, but he's brilliant at picking up spaces and finding them little pockets, which Gnonto perhaps isn't as good at, but he does offer other things. I just thought it was a horrible game for a 10. Can you imagine trying to get... we didn't get hold of the ball much in general. It was always in the air. And Gnonto's not the biggest lad on pitch, is he? So it's not like, you're going to start winning headers or, bring it down in, against some huge centre-back. So I don't know. I felt for him in a sense. I felt like it was just the game was not for him. But Aronson's been going through this. It's not necessarily a player problem, this. It's just our teams are setting up against us and we can't find any space in that number 10. So, I'd quite like to see Gnonto in there. I don't think it were dreadful. Do you know what I mean? I just think there's been an attack on him. I don't really care, truth be told, if we go back to Aronson. I think Aronson offers more when it is like that. I think it'd have been a better game for Aronson just because he gets about a bit more and he's a bit more bustly.
He's like a ratter, isn't he? You know what I mean? Like
yeah. And he bothers people and he does a lot of peruse work, as we've said all season, but he does do that. But yeah, I felt I didn't feel for him, but I could see also that he were getting frustrated within the game, and it's like it was a difficult game for him. I'd have preferred, really, rather than being too experimental about it, I'd have preferred although I thought Solomon actually had a really good first half, I thought he got the right back loads. Yeah. And then in second half, I thought he really opened his legs up and tried to actually drive into space, which we've sort of been talking about for the past couple of weeks. I thought don't know whether he's been told to actually get at that lad, because I know I've gone off on a tangent here, but he wore like letting him go down line. He were opening up for him to go, and he really rarely did. Then in second half, he actually started trying to push it past him. But yeah, to go back to non-tackle, I prefer it just to be in his position. I just think we're at that time of season where it's like, yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't be adverse to seeing him in 10 again against Middlesbrough, really.
Lockie, what did you make to the 10? Is it an experiment that worked? Will we see it again?
I thought it was poor. Again, the context is it was a difficult game for him.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of space, but there was still areas in the game where I feel like he could have done more to find space. So what he did well, his original run, whether that was he'd make a run out wide, he'd stretch the defence, it was good. We didn't really find him. That's not on him. That's on the other players. But then what that did was that dragged the guy out and it left the space. So that's where the instinct comes in. Right, now I'm going to go back in there. And that's where you get the ball on the half turn. That's where you do it. You create that space first. And he weren't doing that. He kind of found the space, settled in it, then moved. We weren't quite finding the right spaces for me. And that's what was frustrating. And again, that's because it's not his position. It's not that deep. And he needs to, the manager and everyone there needs to figure out if he's playing there, how we do that and how we find him, because he's a very talented player, but it's a different role. I want him to play on the wing. I want him to play on the wing. I do all of his good stuff in the last few games, even though he was in the 10 then, he was outright. I need to see him on the wing. I think he still had energy and stuff like that. He still looked like he wanted to impress, like Jack said. He did still have that. He kept going, but it was a very quiet game. And how long is it going to take for him to suit that role?
Yeah, exactly.
That's my worry.
And when he came on in the 10, like you said, Lockie, we're on to cause a bit of chaos, wasn't he? So it wasn't like yesterday. It was just go on, get on ball wherever you want, go and sort of like go and do something on the ball. I know he was in the 10 role, but it was just we were throwing to wind, really, weren't we? But it does. I'd rather him just be comfortable because he's so up for it. Just put him where he's really comfortable and just let him actually be at 100% rather than overthinking or thinking about where he is, or do you know what I mean? Just naturally excellent out wide. So just let him have a go.
And this is where it calls into question the manager due to lack of rotation and not using enough options in the 10 or trying them there. And it also comes on to recruitment for not getting him another 10. Because like you said, how long can we try? Because that's what it is at this stage, none to win the 10. And it's not revisionism. It's not, oh, well, he should have one shot and be gone or whatever. We're not saying that. It's just like, we've got 6 games. So will the manager want to have a chance at that, or will he go, do you know what? Harrington's tried and tested in there. I've only got 6 games. It didn't work. Bang, back we go. Well, and that's what it is. But here's the big one for you, and I've seen a few people mention it in the chat. If he's fit enough, Bamford up top, Pirro in the 10. How do we feel about that? Because I was really impressed with Bamford's contribution. And if we can get him at full fitness, he should start. I know people will shoot me for that.
This is it, right? Yeah. People will never do this with Bamford because he's most for whatever reason, he's the most divisive player at the club. If you take the shirt away, take the name, he came on the pitch, right, and he affected the game. He did. People would like to admit that because his name's Bamford. But if Joseph came on and did what Bamford did, people are going, he looked encouraging, he found spaces, he made good runs. He did okay. He did well. Yeah. He found good areas. We had no threat over the top for them centre-backs all game. None. Until Bamford came on. And then suddenly they were stretched. Now, whether he's ready for 90 minutes or to be honest, whether he's injured, it's a few days for a minute. That could be another 6 months out. That's my worry. Relying on him because we can't, can we? Let's be honest. That's the problem in this situation. But it was good. It weren't outstanding. He didn't blow everyone away, but it was decent. For someone that's not played in months, by the way, he looked all right. He did what Farker told him to do, and he did. And he's unlucky. He had a decent strike. I don't think it's a bad miss. I think it's a decent strike, and the keeper saves it. This is it now. You're looking for people. You're looking for someone who's going to give us a little something. But this is the thing for me. Just go off topic. Well, not off topic, but extend it a little bit. There's a lot of individuals that are not doing enough, and it's annoying me now. Jack mentioned Solomon, and then I agree. There were a few moments where he did get at him, and he had the shot, didn't he, and the keeper saved it. He did that, and how easy was that for him? How easy was that? Why on earth doesn't he do that all the time? Not all the time, but do you know what I mean? A lot. He gets wide really well, and he faces up the defender, but he waits for ages for the defender to come to him, so he's really close. But by the time the defender's got close to him, there's a guy covering, so that line's not there anymore. So he has to go back. I was watching, and I know the different players, but I was watching Forest and Brighton yesterday. I know different games, and their wingers were just deadly. Second they got that ball, they went forward. They went towards the defender because you're giving them less time to think. You're not allowing cover, and it would frustrate me because he kept standing and waiting for 2 or 3 seconds before he made a decision, and then they had cover. I need to see individuals do a little bit more. Perot as well. I love Perot, but he's not. And we have to find him. I agree, we do have to find him, but you can still ask for a little bit more. I want him to start shooting, getting some shooting positions. He's not shot. Honestly, when was the last time he's had a shot? I don't know. I feel like he's not had a shot in ages, in months. I just need them to do a little bit more. The fullbacks as well. I don't think Bogle he didn't drive anyone enough for me yesterday. These are the little things for me.
Too many have been off the ball, you're right, because Bogle has been off the ball for a while.
I just need them to up it a little bit, and then the team will be better. I don't know. It's frustrating me a little bit. Sorry, I went off. Peace again.
It's quite refreshing. I agree with what the chat's saying in terms of it's embarrassing that in 2025 we're still having to call on Bamford, but that becomes an issue with recruitment. Regardless of if you like Paddy or not, we still should have brought someone in since Paddy's been injured as much as he is. We should have brought someone in. But I've done the recruitment drive. We've done
been injured all season and we didn't get anyone in.
Exactly. We've done it. And people said we didn't need anyone, and now the chickens are coming home to roost. But Jack, can we potentially start Bamford? Would that be something you would want? Can that be a thing? Because Farker did say last season, if Bamford didn't get injured, we'd have gone up. He said that. He's big on Pat, what he gives him. And to be honest, when he came in, mate, in that cameo, and it was only shot, like Lockie he was occupying both centre-backs. He was pulling left, he was pulling right, he had that shot on goal. We don't have a striker that gives us that. Like, for all them people that were like, Joseph, like you said, Lockie, we saw more from Pat and what a number 9 in a Farker system needs to do than we've seen from Joseph for a long time, to be honest.
It's not my fault that Bamford's still the best striker at the club.
No.
I can't, it's really not. I wish it wasn't. I wish it didn't have to be the case, but unfortunately for his foibles and for how he frustrates everybody, when the going gets tough, he's the most effective centre forward at the club. He's a combination of Peru and Joseph. He's a mixture of the two. He's for me, all it is if he's fit, or when he gets fit, or if he's anywhere near some fitness, we're in this position now. It's similar to what I said at the start of the video, this. Why don't we want him fit? Are we saying that's not a good option? I don't know if I want him to start against Middlesbrough. I think we should do another 20, 30 minutes out of him, see how we get on again. And then, and to be honest, if Paraparisley doesn't come up with something, I think it's quite an easy change to make that. The only thing that worries me, I mean, if we put Peru into the 10, it asks a lot more of Bamford, doesn't it, in terms of the press? Whereas if you actually did, for me, I don't really care how fit Bamford is at this point. If Aronson's in behind him, Aronson's doing all Peru's press. We don't have the number 9 that does the press at the moment properly. Peru don't get about enough. So why does Bamford have to? But for some reason, when Bamford plays, he's asked to do it all. Do you know what I mean? Really, I think if he's at 80, 90%, and the game's not, we're not controlling games like we once was. Teams have worked out a little bit. We cannot hold the ball up. And Bamford is a nightmare. He's horrible to play against. Them two centre-backs yesterday must have been like, because when Peru's just in front of you all the time, it's easy, isn't it? Let's have it right. And I didn't think Peru were particularly terrible on ball yesterday. I thought he actually took some decent touches and held on to the ball relatively well. But
under a lot of pressure at times, he did hold on to it. Yeah, I agree.
It's not, you just know there's nothing we're not going anywhere with it. Do you know what I mean? It was like in the wrong places and stuff. And it's not even a criticism of we know what Peru is, don't we? But I know what Bamford is, and he's a nightmare. He's a nightmare to play against. I think if he's fit for the next, as I say, if we get through Middlesbrough, I'd back it for the last 5 games. I think he'll have a couple of big moments for us. I do.
And Lockie, if you did play Pirro behind Pat, let's say for example, the ball's coming up in the air. We know Pirro's operating on the outside of the box at times. Who's better than to be able to hold off a centre back and actually lay it into him for him to wrap his foot around it? You know?
Yeah, that's it. We need Pirro shooting, don't we? He's not shot in ages, I feel like, which is that's what he's there to do. He's brilliant at it. This is the thing, and this is what people try act like. Bamford's got 0 attributes at all. He can't do anything. He wouldn't be anywhere near a Premier League, Championship, or National League side if he had in it. You know what I mean? That's when he was fit. He was good. He was never clinical. Never was. No one's denying that. He did miss a lot of big chances, but his movement when he's been fit and sharp has always been good his entire career. He's always had excellent movement. You know, that's why Bielsa played him. Bielsa didn't play him to score 30 goals a season. He played him because his movement was outstanding, and his link-up play and interchanges is really good. And he used to be quick. I don't know if he's quick anymore, but so there's parts of that can help this team. We need to start stretching defences because, look, we're saying this about Solomon and Diz James and the 10, but maybe it's too easy because there's no striker on him behind. They can send someone over to double up on our wingers. Maybe if Bamford's there, occupying them, it's different. They've got to think differently. The defenders, it's a different option, and this is what we keep saying. Does that make sense? Yeah. Anyway, you need different options to make people think different things. Right, Bamford's coming on now. We're going to get stretched, which means if he takes that man out, there's going to be a space here. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This is what we've got to do, and this is what he brings. No one can deny he's different to Perot, and that's what we might need right now. Difference, in my opinion. And maybe Perot a little deeper, although it does worry me a little bit. Them two being our front presses. I can't lie, that's a bit scary. We need 3 Aronsons behind him if we're doing that. I think.
That's fair.
It definitely stops the defenders bothering about what everybody else is up to. You know, if you're orchestrating as a centre-back, if you're making sure, like you say, going over and doubling up and going, I'll help you out, and because my man over here's got this sorted. At least Bamford's like, no, hang on, mate, you crack on over there because I've got an issue in front of me the whole game. He's an issue for defenders, and he's a bit of a nightmare. He's a big lad, isn't he? And he's a bit of a whinge, and he's tough out.
Exactly. He's a shithouse.
He is, though. He loves it, and corners he's always moaning, and there's something going on, and he's a bit of a knob, isn't he? Really?
Yeah.
He's not soft with it. Is it?
No,
I don't know.
Everyone hates him out. Well, I was going to say outside of Leeds, but certain sections of the Leeds fan base.
Also, and let's be fair to he's not clinical. No, he's not. But I reckon if he'd got how many less goals this season would he got than Peru had he played the same amount of games? 4 or 5 less.
That small period last year was it 8?
I wouldn't like to say. I wouldn't like to say on the goal scoring side.
What, genuine? You don't think he'd got 10 goals this season?
Yeah. 10.
I'm not saying that.
He got 7 in 15. You know, when the 15 games he played, he got 7 in that period.
I'm not saying he's a prolific goal scorer, but let's pretend he doesn't get a few goals. He gets goals.
Yeah.
He does get goals. Can we all please admit that?
His movement's brilliant, man.
But just to clear up, he misses a few, but he does score some goals.
Yeah, he does score. Yeah, he does.
I just need to make that absolutely clear that he does actually.
He took the effort well on the weekend when he's got the centre back and he hits it. Yeah, it was straight at him. But I think that might have been one of the first shots on fucking time.
Yeah, exactly. He had more shots in about 5 minutes than Perot had the entire game.
And he actually engineers that well. He's confident enough to hold the defender off a little bit. He lets it run past him. He does really well for that. He engineers that chance because it looked like a poor pass.
Yeah, you bang on. Right, boys, we need to talk about, and I spoke about it on the watch along. I don't care too much about the discourse around it, but it was a surprise, obviously, when Schmidt came on in the left wing position for Solomon, because I said on the watch along at the time, something's amiss here, because how can you go from never playing Schmidt to now all of a sudden he's jumped above Ramazani in the pecking order? Now, Ramazani is a lot of people's favourite player, so obviously it's rubbed a lot of people up the wrong way, but and especially what Farker said afterwards. Farker said basically, I've not been happy with his duels. I think he mentioned something about duels, and I can straight away go back to last week when he comes on and breaks inside and loses the ball, and that's the only thing I can just draw on, which again does seem unfair because it's one moment in the game, but we don't know what's going on in training. Is he putting it in, etc.? So the manager's obviously called him out, and let's see what we get from him in that respect. But what do you make to that, Jack? What's happened there? Because we can't all sit here and say Ramazani's a bad player, because he wasn't, and he was electric when Solomon was injured. Solomon comes back. Solomon was then electric, but Solomon has gone off the boil. He's still dangerous at times, but he has gone off the boil. But yet we're still not seeing Ramazani, and for him to play Schmidt over him, it's like, what? This is Schmidt you never played, and now he's coming on ahead of Larger. Larger must be thinking, what the fuck's going on? So, Jack, what did you make to that whole scenario? Because it was a surprise, right? It's a big surprise.
Yeah, well, yeah, to be fair, but I trust Farker, to be honest. And we've been whinging on for the past 4 or 5 games now that we've not shown enough aggression and, not seem to match teams in terms of commitment and stuff. So I don't think he trusts him to do it. And if he's calling him out, everybody's having a go at calling him out.
Sorry, mate, you've gone in and out there. Can you say that again?
Have I? Am I in?
I've lost you.
Have you? Hello?
Lockie. Hang on.
Hello?
Yeah.
I'll pop out. I'll come back.
Right. Okay. Lockie, let's go to you then, mate. Just your thoughts on the Ramazani situation and then him opting to go for Schmidt ahead of him.
Yeah, weird. This is it. This is where all these weirdos come out and start saying stuff about why he's done it. And yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It all gets too much. Look, if you don't like the manager, you don't believe his decision's right, that's fine. Of course it is. But then if you try and be an investigator and try to figure out every reason why he's not played him, you're going to go down some weird loopholes and try start calling the manager stuff that he isn't. It's ridiculous. Why he's not started him, I don't know. Why he's not played him, I don't know. I wish he did. I like Ramazani. He was immense. This is what people, we do say this. He was immense before he got injured. He was our best player. And I remember when he weren't there, we were saying we need Ramazani back. He was really good. But for whatever reason, I don't know what that is. But like you said, none of us in this chat or here have seen him once at training. What he's like around, we have no idea. But there's clearly an obstacle for why he's not playing, because he literally did at the start of the season. Every minute when he was fit and when he got into the team, he was our main player.
Yeah.
So there's something, right? Obviously. So whether that's on him, he's called him out. Will that work or not? We'll find out. That's, again, people saying, you call him out, you can't do that. What if he plays really well when he comes on next time? It'll work, and no one will give Farker credit. We've got to be balanced with this, I think. We have no idea why he's not playing.
I do just want to quickly speak on that as well. We were speaking about it off air. Easy Teasy says here, Brendan is crap in the duels. Pirro is crap in the duels. He's called out Tanaka in the past few games, and now Ramazani, who's not had a match for ages. I don't hear the same criticism for him from others. Now, what I will say on this, Easy Teasy, this isn't him. This is, again, my opinion, right? Someone else, again, earlier on said, calling other players out instead of them, it's terrible man management, etc., right? And you're entitled to your opinion. Here it is. Becky Oswald, that's bollocks excuse. Brendan is useless in duels. There's certain players that Farker refuses to criticise, the players that he picks on. Terrible man manager, right? Again, I disagree, right? Basically, the manager will know who he can call out in public and who he can't, right? That is the definition of man management, right? Man management is knowing who you can fucking have the hairdryer with and who you need to put an arm around with. But just because it's your favourite player that's been left out doesn't mean he's picking on him. Like, what we doing here? I was talking beforehand with Lockie. There is a short, and I was going to put it out on social media. Chelsea, right? had just been battered 4-0 by Liverpool in the league, right? Carlton Cole is 21, coming up through the ranks at Chelsea. They get called into training on the Sunday, yeah? They go into training, Carlton Cole's thinking, right, we're going to have videos here and they're going to absolutely get battered for getting slammed 4-0, right? For the full 15 minutes, he just has a go at Carlton Cole, who wasn't even in the matchday squad. He's 21. He says, you're never going to be a footballer. You're going to end up working at Tesco's, right? Nothing to do with the game. That training, he absolutely batters William Gallas and Mario Melchiot and ends up starting in the team the week after and starts scoring goals for fun. If our fans were to see that, they'd go, oh my, it's terrible. It's management, right? That is management. Carlton Cole said, I just felt this guy's a fucking genius. And he weren't even in the match day squad. So he knew whatever at that time. And I know it's not the same situation, but obviously he thought, the lads already know they've been battered 4-0, so I'm going to dig him out instead. He ends up getting into the first team, and then Chelsea go on a run. So my point is, it's different strokes for different folks. I'd imagine now, Largy hears what's been said and goes, do you know what? I'm going to show you, Daniel. And in training, he's probably boss this week. We don't know. But to say, and if you say, does any player take, well, yes, but some of them won't. But you'll have two types of reaction. You'll have someone who will go in his shell, yeah, which I'd imagine would be an Arrington, which I'd imagine would be a Melier, just from what you see on the pit, like what you see of them. And then you might see someone else who's a little bit angry, who might get called out in public and go, Joe, I'm going to fucking show you. It's for example, like Wayne Rooney in the World Cup when he broke onto the scene and Lilian Thuram came out and said, oh, he's 16, whatever, he's just a kid. Wayne Rooney went into that game and absolutely battered him, kicked him left up in the air, everything, and absolutely scolded him in that game around France. Different strokes for different folks. Do you think Wayne Rooney, and let's say, for example, I'm just looking at, like, I remember when Patrice Evra spoke about Nani crying when Gerrard had injured him that time, and he goes, he's crying, and Paul Scholes went, get the fuck, he's crying, get away. It's different strokes for different folks. Men are different. You're different. You might not like being told by your missus. Someone else might want structure by the missus. Make sure you do that job otherwise or else. Or don't tell me, I'll get it done. It's different strokes for different folks. And that is the whole point of man management. It's not picking on him. He knows who he can call out and who he can't. That's what that is, in my opinion. And I hope that makes some sort of sense.
These professional footballers are not 0.1%. They are, if you think they felt picked on because of that, trust me, that they don't care. They do not care. Now, what I will say is, and it's important because you've got to be fair in this, when Farker had Cantwell and Buendia, right, two of his best players, criticised them both in the media, dropped them, both of them, trained with the 21s. Buendia took it personally, went, right, I'm going to prove you wrong. Came back into the team almost instantly. Cantwell didn't, and that's where the relationship didn't work. Right? Went, left, done. So this is the point now. So you could argue Farker got that wrong. He shouldn't have done that. But then you could also argue maybe Cantwell's attitude wasn't right. You know, maybe he should have done what Buendia did. Why has Buendia done that? Look at his career now. So it's important that the manager understands who he can do it with. It's key. Like, I bet we're all different. I don't know. I wouldn't like it. I'll be honest. I wouldn't. No. I don't know if you guys would. I wouldn't like it. It wouldn't be for me. If my manager came out,
I'd go into the dressing room. I'm the type of person that would knock on his door. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But he might want that from me. He might want that. So I go, all right, I'll fucking show you then. Give me my boots. Yes. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing.
That. The best thing Ramazani can do, or any young person in this situation, is prove that person wrong. Who's it used to do it? Mourinho used to do it. He said he used to speak about, he used to take the pressure off the players. He used to talk about himself all the time because he knew those players would play better when the pressure is off them. These guys spend every living day with these people. They know them. They get to understand them. He wants a reaction from him. He wants him to up his levels. And if Ramazan is a serious serious in getting to the top, or as high as he can, this has got to be something he texts and goes, yeah, I'll prove you. That's what you've got to do. because everyone criticises you. Social media, people will criticise him every day. Yeah, every footballer. You've got to get on with it, and you've got to take that and go, right, I'm going to show you. It's as simple as that. He's got to train his backside off in these next 3 days.
100%.
People think it's personal between him and the manager. They'll be chatting. They'll be mates. They'll laugh at each other at training every day. People act like that. It's weird. Like, it's always this thing playing between coach. They all get on. Stop acting like no one likes him.
That we used to see Largy come on ahead of Nonto, and I'd be going, it's fourth choice. Yeah. And then what did that do for Nonto? What about the last 2 sub-appearances before he started? He was a man possessed. He came on and he affected the game in the 10, and then he came on and scored against Swansea. Then he starts.
Yeah.
You've got to show that. You've got to show. Let's not forget, folks, Dan James weren't starting in the playoff final. Do you remember? He didn't even start, and he came on and he gets a cut head and he shows he's there. So the point is, it's not. I don't believe that the manager is having a go at that, and because he loves it. It's not that. Go on, Jack. Sorry, I've said enough.
Well, no, you're right. People, it's a quick one. People just don't like Farker. So whatever he says, it's just not good enough. You know what I mean? So he can't call someone out. Like Lockie just said, if Mourinho calls someone out, everybody goes, oh, Mourinho's at it. He's getting stuck into, oh, go on, Mourinho, you're a genius, mate. But Farker makes a bit of a blasé comment saying, well, I'll actually tell you why I didn't bring him on, because you're all giving me that much shit about not playing him. He's not delivering in how I want him to deliver. And then everybody goes, he's bullying him. It's like, no, he's not. He's not delivering what he wants. And then if he does start to deliver just as he has done throughout the whole season with every single player, this idea is used every single player in this squad, hasn't he? Give them all a decent go at it, in all fairness. I know he doesn't particularly rotate from game to game, but they've all had spells where they've actually been, like you just said, Joe, Nonto a fourth choice. Now he's looking like, he could actually get in. Yeah, he's a starter. So that the bloke don't care who's starting in the side. He's going to pick the best team. He's calling players out. He cannot say, and then people are getting more and more mad about him doubling down, tripling down and saying 100% going up. He's not going to turn that off. He's not going to go, that didn't go down very well with fan base. I'm going to stop saying it now. He means what he says, and he says what he means, doesn't he? He's just going to go with what he thinks is right.
It's this
thing
right. That the biggest frustrating thing is this idea that there's one only way you can deal with every situation. There isn't. Every manager is different. Every individual person is different. Every one of them, they all react different to different things. Managers have different ways of doing things. I know people say in the chat, and I respect the opinion, that it's a wrong way to deal with them. Some athletes, it's made their career because they've reacted to it. Like Joe just gave an example at the start. It's not for everyone, but for some it can. And I hope let's stop acting like he brutally criticised him. It's not that bad, is it? He literally said he needs to do a bit better when I bring him on in certain situations. And he was comparing him to Schmidt, who he said has upped his level in training and looked impressive. He's telling him to do what Schmidt's done, because Schmidt was in this situation. Now he's playing a bit more. Not a lot, but a bit more. That's all he's saying. Yeah. It's a message. He's not coming out saying, that Ramazan has been terrible. Yeah. I don't like him. He's a terrible player. People act like he's saying that. We need to, honestly, and I don't.
What if the whole purpose was to give Schmidt a boost? No one's thinking about that thing. Do you know what I mean? It's all because the favourite player, the flavour of the month.
Schmidt looked up for it when he came on. And they're not the favourite player either. They're just not playing, Joe. It's the same thing as disliking Farker. Ramazani's not their favourite player. He's just not playing, so it's easy to go at. Just thought Ramazani get him in because he don't play. You also don't. We don't know that Farker had arm round Ramazani all season and gone, this ain't working. He's getting softer and softer and softer. Yeah. Have a bite of this. Do you know what I mean? I'm not your best mate. I'm not your dad. You're gonna have to pick your nads up and we're gonna have to have a go here.
Yeah.
It's big boy time, isn't it? We're gonna, are we off to Premier League, largely? Because I can't be playing you if we're playing softball. we're.
This is it. And do you know what I think is going to happen? I think it's going to work, and I think Ramazan is going to have a very good last few games, and he's going to impact the game.
100%. It wouldn't surprise me if he came on against Middlesbrough and did bits.
Won't be Farker that's done that, though.
No, 100%.
It'll be nothing to do with what he's said, how he's dealt with him all season. It'll just be he's finally buckled and put Ramazani on, and then Ramazani's won its league. Lord Ramazani.
Parag had a word with him.
Parag stepped in. He's never know, do you?
It is mad, though, to think if Parag's selecting side that he didn't say put Largy in as well. And
spent a lot of money on him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, if he has that much power to tell him to switch the keeper, why hadn't he told him to say, "Well, I bought that player, so you play him as well"? It's mad.
Why didn't he buy him a new keeper if he's got all that power? He should have asked him.
When he said, "I don't want a new keeper," he should have said, "You fucking have him one. Otherwise, I'll take Leo out and start Darlow." You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he was saying, obviously, he was saying, "No, it's Darlow. I'm not buying you another one. You don't want one because Darlow's there to come in. Do not make me do this. I don't want to have to do this. I'm not getting you one in January. We're going to have to wait this out, Daniel, but this will stop, Danny boy."
Powers that be. Powers that be. Yeah, listen, is there anything else we need to do, lads? That sounded very Irish then. Is there anything else we need to do, lads?
Oh, our team.
On this show?
Clear up that it's not the best result yesterday. Could have done with 3 points.
Yeah.
We are in a brand new position now. Middlesbrough is enormous. Just go and win that game and then just see where we're at after that.
I actually think we'll win the next 2, lads. I do.
I think that puts us in a really good position.
I think we'll be top 2 by Sunday.
Right.
I've said that.
What I will say, to be fair, I'm not as confident as you, Joe. I'm not.
No.
No.
Not many people are. Not many people are.
Based on because you came in with all the energy of, I was sat there going, "Don't come to me first because I don't want to ruin the energy." I'm honestly not. I'm not that confident. I'm really not. Just based on what I've seen recently, I need to see a change. If I see a change, obviously that's all it'll be. One game I see them play well and they're up for it and they play with quality and they look good, they look quick, they look powerful. I'll be happy then. But I need to see it before my mind changes. You know what I mean? I do need to see it. It's getting frustrating.
I don't trust us, Lockie, right now.
Yeah.
I think we could go and blow Middlesbrough away, and I wouldn't trust it. I won't go into the next game thinking, "Yep, right, normal service resumed." I think it's the lull's gone on a little bit too long for me.
6 games, isn't it? 6 games, 1 win.
Yeah, it's stagnant.
And
I think we can turn it around.
Years, the only that's true. We still can 100%. The last 2 years, our bad form that's lasted that long was the only ones, by the way, was the end of last year, and now that's it. So that's the worry for me because under Farker, usually I think the start of the first season was a bit iffy, wasn't it? And the start of this season, but the middles are really good. It's the ends and the starts worry me.
It's fair.
I'm worried. I'll be honest.
Tuesday we all play Tuesday. Sheffield United play Millwall, which I fully expect Sheffield United to win that game at home.
Yeah.
Burnley are away at Derby. I think that'll be tricky. I do. I could see 0-0, genuinely. And I think we will beat Middlesbrough. I do. The record is there. They are in great form. And I said this on an earlier stream, but when you actually strip back the results, they've beaten QPR at home. They've beaten Blackburn at home, which both are not great. And they drew with Luton 0-0 at Luton. So, it's not that bad, folks, remember. So I think they've won 3 in 4. But I think we win. I do, honestly, and I could see 3-2, 4-2. I said my score prediction was 4-2. I think it'll be a humdinger. I think it was 4-3 there last season. I think it'll be something similar. I think it'll be 2 teams willing to have a go. I still think at times we look okay on the break. But yeah, I think we'll do them. And then I actually think Preston will be really tight on Saturday, but I think we'll come through it. I could see 2-1 or 1-0, and that's where my head's at. Obviously, if we lose Tuesday night, then it's looking very, very bad. Very bad. But yeah, I think Middlesbrough will be good for us. I think the fact that it's a team that are playing well, a team that's at the top, it's not a team fighting for the lines. It's not a team willing to put bodies on the line, 10 men behind the ball. Come on, great, determine. I think this game will suit us genuinely, folks. I do. And that's just where I'm at. Yeah, and then we go on to the weekend. Obviously, Burnley have Norwich. We play Preston, and Sheffield United have Plymouth away. Plymouth away. Plymouth got a good result of the weekend. Spooky.
This is it though, like because I did Oxford beat. Where'd that come
Exactly,
from? You know what I
mate.
mean?
Exactly.
Like they were playing them well. They were looking good. They were winning comfortably. Then boom, Oxford
But
beat them.
the thing is, as well, they didn't create out Sheffield United. This is the thing. They didn't. I think the keeper had 2 saves to make towards the end of the game. So what's happened there? Because it's how can they go from scoring in every game since like September or whatever it is, in every game, to then not hardly creating out? Because it's a different kind of pressure. There'll be many twists and turns. The difference this year is we're closer. We're closer. We're still there. They've got to play each other, and this is why I still keep the faith. Matthew, I watched the game. I don't think you had that many chances. I may be wrong, mate. I watched the game. He made some good saves towards the end, but he didn't have loads of shots. Maybe I'm wrong. I watched the game, but maybe I'm wrong. So I'm confident, man. I'm still confident that we go top 2.
I'm confident of that. I just don't trust us right now. That can change pretty quickly, but I think we need. I don't know. It's gone on too long. I really wanted it a couple of games ago. Now it's like because I thought we'd slip again. You see, I thought there'd be a couple of weeks. I thought we'd be on 6 points here, get into Middlesbrough, potentially do them. Then something mental could happen, and I just thought we'd be in a stronger position. Whereas now I feel like the slip is got to have gone. The rut is got to be over. So we have to go on a proper run now.
Yeah, it's weird. I almost feel like because this started quite early for Leeds, you know, the falling apart. I almost feel like this is. Can it go on? Can it really go on? You know what I mean? Though it's already gone on for quite a while. Can it really go on for 12 games? That seems
it can't, bro.
Even for us, that's too long, isn't it? But you know, we'll see. But I need to see something before I honestly right now I'm not that confident. I'm confident in them. I am because they've been unbelievable most of the season. But I need to see that again. I need to see them do what they've done most of the season again. And
I want to see us score first, but not within the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we've scored first.
Dominate the game, get a little goal.
Yeah, exactly. Score about the 20th minute. Yeah. Work our way into it. Boom. Score first, we'll win the game. That's what I want to see. Like it's almost like we lulled ourselves into a false. There's 2 games. I can't remember the other one as well as Swansea where we score so early and then we're like, I think it was Solomon. Was that 2-2? Was that QP? No.
Can't remember 9.
I can't remember, but Solomon scored. If you remember, it went down and it bobbled in, or it might have been Millwall. That I don't know, but we scored far too early and then we end up drawing.
We've done that.
Maybe it's lulls us into a false sense of security potentially. I don't know.
Yeah. Don't score early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Save it.
I can't believe we're saying that, but yeah, I get the point.
Yeah,
I think potentially, and this sounds ridiculous, but you know, we've got into that thing where we go 1-0 up and we never lose, and then it's like gone 1-0 up. Sound, you know, it's like no, hang on, lads, 30 seconds has gone here. You know, there's another. There's the full game to play. You know what I mean? We're like, oh, we've won game, and then it's just armchairs. But I mean, that's probably unfair on them, really. But we do lull. So
yeah.
I hate it, lads. I want it to end.
I know.
I hate this.
We've got some super chats to finish up. Sack Farker Joe, I can't be arsed with the guy's 60-minute subs. West Brom News says you couldn't beat West Brom, and we are shit, and Luton are shit. Cheers, West Brom News. We are not happy clappers. We're just keeping the faith. I know. It's seen as a derogatory term. I don't care.
Mate, I don't see anything wrong with in this day and age being positive.
Trying to be positive.
Yeah, like I don't know. I saw my dad at weekend and he's proper positive. It's made me feel better. What's wrong with that? I want to feel better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My head, I don't know where the happy clapping thing comes from. I did the post-match thing and I was literally like, I was, you know, dejected.
It's like they want you to change, like, come on and go, this is a fucking disgrace, even though you don't believe it. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not even that happy. I'm not even confident we'll get top 2, so I don't know where.
Yeah.
What is it? Misery loves misery, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
So take your misery.
Trying to work it out after a game like that. You're trying to work it out, aren't you?
Yeah. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, and you
know what
sort
I mean?
of like contradict yourself a little bit because
Yeah.
you're mad, and then you think, well, no, but and then somebody says something, and you go, well, no, hang on a minute. There's
Yeah,
6
yeah, yeah.
games left, mate. You know, just steady on, pal. There's 6
Yeah.
games left. We're not out of it. It's in our hands still, which I still think it is, regardless of them two playing each other. Because if we win 6 games, we go up. I believe that.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
if they wasn't playing each other, I wouldn't care. So it's still in our hands. I don't buy into this, like, you know, we're not all going to win every single game to end the season. So, and they do play each other.
Mm.
But you're just working it out. We're in this position now.
Yeah.
So what? Let's go to
Middlesbrough. I'm actually glad that we have a game on Tuesday. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's get that game out of the way.
A week would have been horrible after that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, horrible.
And it might be a bit mental, and we might need a bit of a mental game. We haven't had a bonkers game, have we? Where there's just like everybody, and there's no nerves in the game because it's just, the ball is just, you know, we're flying and they're flying. And if it is a bit like that, sometimes it just sort of like, oh, all right, let's get back to business at home at Preston. Do you know what I mean? We don't want another, like, you know, and it just, I don't know, it blows cobwebs off a little bit. Maybe we need a bit of a wild one.
Yeah.
There've been intense games, haven't there?
Bit of a 3-2 or a 4-3. Something like
that. Just some, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I can handle that myself, but I think to play in it, you know, a bit of elation at the end of it, isn't it? You know, do with that feeling back, really.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? That it's feeling in it. It's been flat. That's why a few big challenges against Luton. I was screaming, get in. I loved it.
Yeah,
because that's what all I've got at the moment. I need a bit more from them.
And we did gain momentum from that as well. We did gain momentum from that when big tackles were going in, because then Firpo won a big tackle. Oh, that's the tackle you're on about, Lockie, yeah. I've just literally remembered it now. Yeah, he's running back and big, long sliding tackle, wins it back, and then we got forward down left after. That might have been the Schmidt chance. I think something happened because we really built momentum.
Yeah, Schmidt had a chance, didn't he?
Yeah, did a few as well. Ampadu smashed it.
Well,
brilliant.
That defender, what was his name, man? The young lad on the right of the three.
Yeah, they signed him from Belgium.
Yeah, he was quality, man. He was quality, and he actually.
Oh, yes, he was. He won the ball against Schmidt.
Yeah, he was in front of Bamford, and then he waited for Bamford to release Schmidt, and then he won the ball, man. And he was quality. He had a really good game. Forgot his name now. Really good game. So it's a good pickup.
I think they signed him in January from Belgium, I believe.
Yeah, really good.
Good player, yeah. But yeah,
Musoko, that was it. Musoko.
Yeah, good player.
Lewis, we're not ignoring you, bro. We've already done it, man. We're there with you. Bamford, I've said Bamford in the 9, Pirro in the 10. Leeds going up.
I've never not been that. So.
Imagine Bamford does it. You know
it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Like, it'd be nice bookend to his time. Well, he's got a year left after this, mate.
Yeah,
it's game over.
Still got a year, Joe. Come on.
Yeah, but he's not going to play much in the Premier League, is he? He has to get fit.
You're writing him off, Joe.
What do you mean?
But he can't. Look, there's a reason these two heads are there, because you can see it now. James, whip. Bamford, great movement, pulls off a Dyke steal. Bang!
One of them little slight headers he does. One of them little slight ones.
Man.
As long as he goes easy in his celebration, he doesn't pull up again.
That's what I'm saying.
That was the start, wasn't it? That celebration. I don't think he's been fit since then.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Actually, it's crazy. I don't know what he did.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, man.
Ruined it.
Listen, if Patrick Bamford scores in every game and fires us to the fucking Premier League, I'll give him a contract till 2030. It is what it is. But it is a sad state that in 2025 we're still there, but that's on the club, man. Look, listen. Tomorrow's Monday, start of a new week. We'll all be talking about Middlesbrough from tomorrow. And, and then Tuesday soon come. And we'll know our fate, won't we? We'll know our fate. Well, there's 5 games to go then. Right, okay, where we're at. Let's go into Saturday. And I'm just going to keep reminding you, because it's rough at the minute, doing content and seeing your comments and taking the battering, because I stick my head above the parapet. But I keep reminding you, after every single video, I will have my day in the sun. Leeds will be promoted, and when we do, I'm fucking coming for you all. Yeah, I might even do a video of like Exhibit A. You said this, you were wrong. We went up. Next one, Exhibit B. I can see it now. So you have your fun now, but when we go up, really, you can't really enjoy it because you'll be like, yeah, but
man.
fucking Jack Vark, where are we going?
Change the manager now. I'll be celebrating, mate.
Just literally, just buzzing, just like, you what, mate? Just like, oh yeah, whatever, yeah, man, yeah.
2 weeks in, it's not signed anyone yet. I don't care.
It's YouTube, mate. We don't do humble, huh? I did, Damar. I did. You're right. I did, and I was wrong, but we will be there. I love it.
Instead of celebrating, I got to see Rutter crying at Wembley, so that was good.
Yeah. You're not allowed to be. Oi Bob. You're not allowed to be. You can't give receipts back. Oh, I can, Sean. I don't think that's what you meant, but I can. You meant something else, but I can, and I will. Especially, to be honest, I don't even come for you, Sean, because you change your opinion every fucking week depending on the fucking result. This is facts, bro. People like Kilgallen, at least, he's been consistent. He has trickled over into the little bit of being a little bit on the line, a little bit nasty, but it's all right. We'll fucking come for you as well, bro.
Clown.
In your Icelandic snowy hills. I'll find you. We will be there. We will be there. Don't you worry. We will be there. It's all fun, innit? It's all fun and games at the end of the day. Do I think it will go to the final day? It looks like that, mate, at this moment in time. Then I thought we'd have it wrapped up 10 points, but we moved, don't we?
Can't deal with that.
We moved.
I remember Premier League when we stayed up. Honestly, I didn't watch last 10 minutes against Brent. I couldn't watch it. Couldn't watch it. Horrible, man.
Do you like it, Sean? Because last time I remember can anyone remember the last time Sean had it up him? Shall I tell you what he did? Shall I tell you what he did? He went, I'm going to watch another channel. So I don't know what you're talking about. Bro, you literally left and went and watched another channel. Come on. What are we doing here? It's all a bit of fun, man. Relax. No way, then. Kilgallen, I know you, broski. I know you. It's all good, though. It's all fun and games, man. This is what I mean. See you all later. Yeah, keep fighting the fight. Keep doing the stuff. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Get your comments in. Hit that notification bell. Make sure you check out Lockie Leeds. Make sure you check out Lockie Leeds. Make sure you check out Jack City. We will be there. One thing I will never do is going to hide, and I'm always here to face the music, Jamie. You know this. I will be here. Keep fighting.
I'll say something, Joe, in your defence, right? If we lose the next few games, right, there'll be one person that says "fuck out" for everyone else that's been hinting it all season but not said it, and that will be Joe. And you all know that's true.
It's facts, man. It's facts. Jamie, you know what the best thing about X is? I mute tweets. So as soon as I make something that I feel could come back, I just mute it. So you'll be just talking to yourself anyway, broski, so it's all good. All good, man. Fair. Anyway, it's all fun, innit? At least we've had a laugh. At the end. Aye. Yeah? At least we've had a laugh at the end. Right. Middlesbrough preview tomorrow. We're going to fucking win the league. Thanks as always for watching, and we'll see you in a bit, people. Peace out now. We just leave.